You know the saying, have your name written all over it, have one's name written all over it, to be a perfect match for one's interest or taste. Are you sure you don't want a popsicle? There's a cherry one here that has your name written all over it. A mysterious novel has Susie's name written all over it, doesn't it? Oh yeah, she loves spooky things. All have name over written. So have something written all over it. Informal. Show clearly the influence or characteristics of somebody, something. It's been badly organized as usual. It's got the council written all over it. But this is the part: to be a perfect match for one's interest, to have your name written all over it. Nine 14, 40, and then 7R. So it's like you got 914, you got a 40 plus 7. Robin, see what it is? You got 40 years plus 7 in order to ride in on your white horse. But we're going to have your name written all over that car with the first 3 numbers of its license plate. Yep. Remember, you got a 40-year period. There's a wilderness period, 40 years plus 7. And because a 40-year period, when I started YouTube, very first video 5 years ago at 1:11, it's Bowie, the boxer lab boxing a bag. Big deal. But it was on April 2nd, 2017, the very first video that I uploaded at 1:11. So 111. From the time I was born June 28th, 1976. From the time my first video uploaded, 14,888 days. So after 14,000 days, separate the 888. And who would have thought that 888 in gematria comes out to Jonathan Klecks? And he would be like the main person that I've continuously never left or forsook for the past 3 years straight. It didn't start off well, but so apparently March 14th, 2019, when I heard that Jonathan Klecks is the only angel from the Church of Philadelphia, I mocked him.
Told you, I'm the angel for Church of Philadelphia. Oh, that's who I am. I told you that the world's
that
largest
hilarious
vagina is a penis. Oh, I mean,
see, I was ignorant towards the landscape of everything, and Klecks knew it at the time. So even as of March 14th, I said I started on him. I thought I started on him in June, but apparently it was even before his birthday, 2 days before his birthday in 2019. So today's the 4th. It's a solid 42 months. Yep, solid 42 months that I've gotten on Jonathan Klecks, and I never left him, for better or worse.
So before this,
So listen to this hogwash that I said. On July 1st, 2019, which is over 3 years ago, here's what I said about Jonathan Klecks.
happens, I think this is the last video I'm going to do about Kleck, because I'm seeing some more symbolism here that I don't even know what this thing was. I heard him talking about it a while back. I didn't know the name of it. Now I know the name of it. It's
Years
the
ago.
event before the fire. The before the
Hey,
fire.
look at that.
And you see, there's like fire.
Look at that Skywatch. You're the only one I gave
little
a
symbols
heart
there of
to.
fire.
I
You can
guess the
take
only
it
one I
as
read.
before the fire, like as your.
Trying to pinpoint like the very first day. Well, no, I even mentioned Jonathan Klecks back in 2018 when I did the video about Derek Rose, and I said I had his back, and then he commented, and I didn't realize until years later. So I don't know exactly where it is the first time, but it's been a good solid 42 months that I've been from the point even when I said this is probably going to be my last video. Yeah, right. Well, you can see Klecks is in the title, July 1st. This was 2 days before his birthday in 2019. And then copycat Klecks and with the cat. So I started to come at Jonathan Klecks in a way that I wasn't exactly sure what he was doing and saying, but it didn't sound authentic to me. And then I started to challenge him on certain things, and then like on the road to Joshua Trees.
No different than this. V for vengeance. Right side up, upside down. So the Lord God's going to take vengeance on that system now. That's what this is all about. We got up at 4 in the morning. My son had to catch a flight to go meet his mom.
I wonder what's going to happen at the Hoover Dam there,
and
Prophet.
He walked into the kitchen.
Wonder what's going to happen at the Hoover Dam there, Prophet, on August 23rd, 2019. Well, so far, the only thing that happened at the Hoover Dam was...
That was the scene at the Hoover Dam yesterday. Officials saying a transformer caught fire and sent...
Yesterday was July 19th, 2022. But you already knew that, Robin, beforehand, 11 days beforehand, about the Hoover Dam coming up on the west side.
And then West Coast. Because the Hoover Dam is over on the west side as well, ain't it? The Hoover Dam.
11 days before the Hoover Dam exploded.
That was the scene at the Hoover Dam yesterday. Officials saying a transformer caught fire and sent clouds of black smoke into the air. They say that...
What if that was just a holographic image? I mean, what if?
Hoover Dam, I mean, at my house the morning.
Oh, really?
We got ready to leave. We got up at 4 in the morning. My son had to catch a flight to go meet his mom.
I wonder what's going to happen at the Hoover Dam there,
and
Prophet.
He walked into the kitchen and he was like asleep.
That was 3 years ago. Like on the road to the Joshua Trees. So me and Jonathan Klecks weren't actually friends in the beginning. I didn't consider him that. I felt like he was my enemy. So, along with a bunch of other people, they had to be reconciled. That way you know that the fall already took place in your own life. So on September 27, 2019, I'm saying second 9, just forget about the dates per se, and just read what was written. Second 9/11 happens at 17th JFK, Building 8 Chase Bank. So I'm saying that happens. That's what sets it off. The bombing, 5:55 in the morning on Sunday, on the second 9/11 date, and in Philadelphia, blaming on bombs and the Taliban, because now that the main al-Zawahiri was assassinated, the top Taliban, I'm saying 3 years ago that the name itself is going to be attached to the second 9/11. And it's going to happen in Philadelphia. All implications are heading in that direction, so I'm still sticking with that prediction. And fallen star from heaven. So World War III would be declared on that day. Economy collapse, just like the stock market in Petco 2 when it shows through the character's eyeballs. Market crash. Tsunamis on the west coast, Texas shoreline, destroying California. Rumors of rapture. So that's coming too. Millions disappearing. Asteroids slam to the east coast, destroying New York. Alien invasion. I didn't realize we were already being invaded by them. In the sky till the sun goes down on October. Now here's the date. Just fast forward 3 years. October 21st, 2019 at noon. For 3 days, our original sun appears. So original, like the truth, the original truth, appears at midnight, October 24th, after they cut off the miracle signs and wonders and 7D technology in our heavens. Real peace happens from that point on. I could be 3 years ahead, 3 days, 3 days a year with all this. Could all happen in line just 3 years later. What that would make me a false prophet if I predicted it. And if I got the wrong date 3 years ago, but I got the right date 3 years later, would that make me a real prophet or a false prophet? Here's how I start off my video.
I have a little project going on.
I usually just show who I'm paying attention to. What if Klecks was just a stranger on a bus? You know, like God, just one of us.
I got a surprise coming for everybody, okay? I mean, a big surprise. Anyway, so this would be a super good time to help the ministry. Now, anyway, but y'all be seeing about it. Y'all be hearing about it pretty quick, pretty soon.
Yeah, we know.
It's almost time to let everybody in on it.
September
It'll be
28th.
Almost time to let everybody in on it. Now, you've been saying that for 3 years now, John. Did you let everybody in on it?
a really cool surprise. All right, so let me show.
Well,
It'll be
28th.
a really cool surprise.
Hold on, I got to link
All
you here.
right, so let me show.
Well, let me see. Hey, Klecks, can I guess what this surprise is going to be? I'm just going to take a shot in the wind here. And I'm going to say that because you're the star, the church, the angel of Philadelphia, because there's 3 bombs coming up, because this is the 17th year of you getting beat down and everything, slandering you and all kinds of stuff on 17th Street, and because you are John F. Kennedy, Kleckety Kleck, John F. Kleckety Kleck on the Boulevard, and because when you read John chapter 8, 8, you can just chase down the fox's hole on building 8 after 17th full year of the street that you're going.
As I'm saying all that about 17th and JFK, this is before Jonathan Klecks on 2020, on July 8th, 2020, I believe made the water rise up out of nowhere when I was there. So this is all beforehand. Something about Jonathan Klecks Boulevard, Jonathan Fargo Klecks Boulevard, 17th Street, Chase Bank, 8, 8-pointed star of Lucifer. I said 3 bombs.
Going to be sending a star at the John F. Kennedy Boulevard in the Philadelphia region, Center City, of course. That's right.
So that's what he did. A star was sent right at 17th and JFK on this day right here. 17th, clear, dry, desert ground, and within a minute and a half,
It's pretty real.
first time all year that I experienced seeing and recording is on that day, July 8th, 2020. And then the next time on Harold Camping's World, October 21st, 2020, the water stood still at exactly 8:48 a.m. But I'm looking for a bomb, and then instead, as you can see, it's shutting completely down right there. Absolutely shut down at 8:48 a.m. And that's the same exact day in the morning that Jonathan Klecks needed to
The short video clip was made today, October 20th, 2020, after the Lord told me to drive to Camping World this morning because he had something to show me.
So that's what he showed me. Jonathan Klecks showed me that he has the ability to make sure that that water shuts off at this exact time right here. Because he was showing Barack Obama in the video that I'm recording that morning right here. He was showing Barack in it. I didn't record that portion of it. But that's the whole reason why I went down there, because in the morning I'm listening to Klecks' video, and there you go. It was 6 hours ago. This is the video that 6 and 6. Genesis 1 leaked. By then, and I flourish again. Cryptic. Just watch. 6 hours ago, and I was there.
The gospel
That I've shown you. These are revelations. This is a revelation.
Time is at 9 what? 9:03? 9:01. 9:01, because it happened at 8:46. 8:48. Yes, 23 minutes in. It happened at 8:48. And as I'm looking at the video happened 6 hours ago. So somewhere around 2 in the morning, this video was uploaded. I watched it before I drove to work, and the Spirit led me. The Spirit is what I'm receiving from the other person's communication. The Spirit led me to 17th and JFK at exactly 8:48 a.m. on Harold Camping's World, which is the end of the world, October 21st, 2020. It's not about the actual date itself, the year, but the date, October 21st, which is Harold Camping's World. And in hindsight is 2020, but the Spirit led me to be at this exact place at 17th and JFK at this exact time, and this is the exact thing that took place.
I want to show you something. Just go to Gennady. I need to show you something. So what are you showing me?
As it rose back up. And the reason I harp on this, because it's like a grand slam from Bryce Harper. I harp on it a lot because it proves communication between me and AI and whoever's running AI. When I'm saying Jonathan Klecks needed to show me something, all I can say is he showed me something at that exact time. And I also remembered from before what Barack Obama said that was relating to 8:48, which would lead to something staying still.
Show you something.
At that time.
Burns the chariot in fire. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations.
At 8:48 a.m., the reason why I'm at that exact place is because I think I'm going to see a bomb. Come to find out, hours later, I didn't see a bomb, but on the same exact day, I seen an Obama show up at the link, which is only 4.1 miles from, about 4 miles, 4.1 miles from the William Penn Building, City Hall, to Lincoln Financial Field, the Eagles, where the Eagles will gather where the carcasses, the Eagles will gather. So on the same exact day, October 21st, Barack Obama showed up at Philadelphia instead of the bomb that I was expecting at 8:48 a.m.
Then he cut the event short. Poor guy. I don't feel that way.
On October 21st, 2020, Barack Obama shows up in Philly after the water stood still for me on that same exact day that Barack Obama was in the same exact city that I was in. I was only 4 miles away from him. Later on, he was down there, but in the morning at 8:48 a.m., the same time he read "Be Still, Know That I Am God," the water shut down. Jonathan Klecks needed to show me something at that exact time, on that exact day, that the exact person that he, brings up to being the Antichrist and rising him up to show you who he is in the political realm. And then behind the scenes, Barack Obama, he's there in Philadelphia on the same exact day that I was there, as I'm looking for a bomb, but I didn't get an actual one, but I got an Obama to show up. And on the same exact day, Barack Obama said this.
Obama showed up at the link on October 21st, 2020 to officially endorse.
I want to thank Mr. Philadelphia. He's... Listen, my first job was in a Baskin Robbins.
Same day.
We see him operating every single day. We see him in neighborhoods.
Same day.
And by the way, while he's doing all that, it distracts all of us from the truly destructive actions that his appointees are doing all across the government. Actions that affect your lives. You guys delivered for me twice, and I am back here tonight to ask you to deliver the White House for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Drive home that point.
I want to thank Mr.
That's my last name. That's for sure. Hey, you're welcome, Obama.
What an outstanding young lady she was.
So isn't that strange? Isn't that strange that Barack Obama was in Philadelphia the same day that I was in Philadelphia, looking for a bomb that I thought maybe Jonathan Klecks was going to set off because of the first 9/11, second 9/11 connection 3 years earlier when I first started thinking of it 2 years ago, on this time here, and on almost coming up 2 years. And he was there, and he also read on the first 9/11 10 years later, "Be still, know that I am God. I'll be exalted in the nations, I'll be exalted in the earth." And that's what he read at 8:48 a.m. And that's exactly what happened when he said that, "Be still." Because literally 1 minute beforehand, you can see the timestamp here, 23, 22. Let's just go with 2 minutes beforehand. The streams of water were roaring in the city of God. At 22:19, it was doing that. And then at 23:17, it became the holy place of the tabernacle. Right, Obama?
Therefore, we will not fear.
8:47.
Even though the earth be removed,
Psalms
Though the
46.
mountains be carried into the midst of the sea.
It took 46 years to make this temple. And Christ said, I will, if you destroy it, it'll take 3 days. And they're like, it took 46 years. Made in America. Remember? America remembers. And I also remember.
Like AIs. It's like the guy, there's his legs, there's his hand, and he got binoculars, and he's looking, projecting images down at the second 9/11 building, Twin Towers. So he has.
Made in America on September 1st, 10 days before, the second 9/11 date, whether it's in Philly or not, I don't know. It's better than saying being dogmatic. Hey, the second 9/11 is going to happen in Philadelphia on September 11th, 2020. No question about it, Philly. Instead, I'll say, this stage is set. I'm giving you as much information as I can before the second 9/11 that was planned. If it's prevented, well, then that ties into Jonah, and it ties into Nineveh, and it ties into repentance and kind of irritation and annoyance on Jonah's side because he wanted the city to be destroyed because maybe it would have got attention for him or something. Maybe it was a selfish reason. But there's no turns. Once you go in, that's it. You're done. It's telling you to stop now, but you won't listen anyway. So when you're going into the event, Made in America, if it just so happens to be in Philadelphia, oh man, imagine all of the. You really got to think of it like this. The first 9/11, wouldn't it be cool to be able to have videos referencing where the newscast is really pointing towards 9/11, like they're pointing towards those Twin Towers that are going to be destroyed so obviously. Wouldn't that be cool if like Klecks can show you all those videos from before, and you look at it like, wow, Michael Jordan's coming back. The King is coming back the day before the first 9/11. Okay, so that means he's coming back. Michael's standing up. The second coming, second 9/11, explosions. So wouldn't it be freaking damn cool if you were able to watch somebody's channel that was giving you the heads up of the second 9/11 that was coming in Philly 3 years beforehand and had like 3 years worth of predictions and thoughts, and it's like, wow, how did he know that? Yeah, he didn't know the date at first, but oh my God, it happened, and there it is, and here's the videos, and look, and it manifested. This is what God is. I had no say in anything. I didn't come from anywhere. I don't know anybody. It's just me. I'm here showing you that the stage is literally set in Philadelphia. When I've been predicting the second 9/11 Philly for at least 3 years now, and 10 days beforehand, Made in America, like the documentary. The documentary. I believe this is the name, Made in America. Derek Bros was talking about a real live movie being played out right now where the characters, Made in America, is such a perfect, because it's made in America, and it starred right in Philly, because before the events happened, being in Philly, me being able to get to show you all the ins and outs of what made me think that the 9/11 was going to happen right down there, where this is like the audience inside there. You can see he got his binoculars because he's looking at the show that's coming. And to be a part of it, well, it would be the most amazing thing ever in the history of existence in my life. And it would seem too good to be true. But as soon as that happens, I really don't ever have to work again in my life. You know why? Because I'll be in jail until I convince the jury that I'm innocent. hopefully, if I do get locked up, my boss would put up one of his houses or something to get me out, because he knows, everybody knows, I'm not part of it. I just predicted it. You can try to attach me to it with conspiracy, but it's not like I'm saying, andale, andale, iba, or ordale. Like, yeah, because I'm not in charge of it. You are. You and your twin. You guys, the first and the second, the first and the last on script. First is September 11th, 2001. I believe that's the first, like, birth date of Adam, because he came into the world. The two became one, the one World Trade Freedom Tower, Statue of Liberty, representing freedom, being broken, the chains being broken, the landscape of the United States of America. There's a bear, there's like an armor bear next to the king. The king's behind the armor bear that's on fire, and the armor bear has chains that are loose. And this is like, it's like, wow. And I finally get to enjoy life with those of you that make it manifest where it's true. Now, the truth of it all is just exposed. It's shown. It's not hidden, and everybody knows it. And then living the life of what it's like to, like, I don't want to wait to get to heaven to live in heaven. I want it to come down here, however I can. And if I can predict the events that takes place, I'm going to guarantee it. Heaven's coming down to earth. If that second 9/11 happens in Philadelphia, the way I see it, with those 4 buildings, or even 3, Liberty 1 and 2 representing the Twin Towers, William Penn Building representing the Pentagon, William Penn gone when it's destroyed. 17th and JFK it's Chase Bank. It's on the back of a $50 bill. Look. I mean, well, there's T's, Henry T's Hurricane. Hurricane Grace is right next to it, but that's not the image. Here's the image, and it looks like it's on the back of a $50 bill. The Hoover Dam that Jonathan Klecks talks about. 5/5 T is the cutoff, and then with the other end of the $50 bill, it would be 5. So it's 5/5 T5. Rectangular windows from end to end, and do not chase the money. Right here, don't. The arrows is telling you, do not chase the money. But people are going to chase it anyway. So all this ties in, and if it happens, heaven's coming down to earth, because it changes everything. See that? 5/5 T5. With a bomb that goes off near the 3rd floor of Chase Bank, you can't pin this on me. You just can't. I mean, you can try, but I'll convince the jury that I'm a regular person just like you. I don't really want to be here judging this trial, but I'm a criminal. I can skip out of the jury. Their duty, like you guys, but I'm the same as you. I'm just a regular person trying to figure things out, and then I figured it out. The future bombings and the previous bombings are printed on U.S. currency in similarities. It's not going to be exact, but it's going to be similarities. And the serpent's language, the Masonic language, at the highest level, I learned how to speak. And I'm able to speak these things out loud because I'm not part of the organization. That's why I'm still alive. Because if I was part of the organization and I'm telling you what I'm showing you, I'm pretty sure I'd be dead. It's the only way that you guys can be free. Let me take the abuse for you. Let me tell you where you're going to be before you get there. Let me tell you what you're really saying to everybody. Klecks video, new $100 bill decoded, nuclear destruction. So a nuke is just the whole system is just blown up and destroyed. So at 5:55 a.m., I'm looking, the very first prediction that I would say of anything towards the second 9/11, which is only 7 days away. Today is September 4th, 2022, 7:45 p.m. I would say that at 5:55 a.m. would be the first thing to be hit, the first thing to give a broad explanation and not be detailed is something will be destroyed, and there's only two places. It's Philadelphia, Mount Rushmore, one or the other. So one or the other, if it's 4 in 1 hour, well, like 4 events in Philadelphia, Liberty 1, Liberty 2, William Penn Building, and 17th JFK, which is right here, 4 being destroyed in 1 hour, that would have to be from the 11th hour to the 12th hour, and then 12 noon time's up. So these are all the thoughts that I have about the future bombings that are printed on U.S. currency that haven't happened yet. And the only way that you would know that the bombings are on there from the inside is the fact that you're an artist and you drew it and folded it to the point of perfection where you can show a similarity that takes place, like 17th JFK with the rectangular windows that are green, just like money green. It's the same thing that the building looks like.
And then on the back of a $50 bill, you fold it up. Looks like there's a bombing on like the 3rd floor area.
The Hoover Dam. $50 bill. Notice, I remember Klecks saying, when you look at the Alfred P. Moore building, P. Moore, and then Moore, which ties into Rushmore, Mount Rushmore, federal ties into money, U.S. currency, federal P. Moore building, and Mount Rushmore, there's 4 presidents at the top, and George Washington is at the headquarters because he's a quarter. His head is the very first portion of Mount Rushmore, which makes that the headquarters. And when you click on that, it says YouTube. So it's like the YouTube headquarters. Federal bombing with that attached to it reminds me of Mount Rushmore, P. Moore. And then over here, 17th JFK, it's also similar because when Klecks telling you that from round edge to edge, straight across the rectangular windows, impact at 3 at the 3rd floor.
These windows, they go close. They go from end to end. Round point to round point. Long rectangular windows.
Couldn't be any more identical. I mean, it couldn't be any more identical as to the closest similarity that you can possibly come up with that matches a bombing. So what would the argument be? What would the DA be telling you guys right now? Yeah, but it's because of you that somebody decided to blow it up just like that, just to frame you. Because, well, who would do that? Terrorists? You mean terrorists are watching my videos? They got influenced by me to be so precise to set up bombs at the 3rd floor. Right. So it's my fault for saying, this looks like an outlet, doesn't it? A plug-in. It's like a plug. Remember, the DA will try to throw anything at you guys for, it's kind of like the serpent in a way, trying to just put some type of doubt in your mind to trust me that I actually got it from God. Like God. the Spirit in heaven, used a bunch of his people to collaborate things together and communicate in a way where everybody can hear and speak in tongues in their own language. Not necessarily different languages, nationalities, but in their own way of communicating through their language. This is a language. My mom even said yesterday, I went and seen her. She's like, I watched one of your videos, but I didn't even know what you were even saying. I said, I know, Mom. I understand. A lot of people don't. I can't explain it right now. There will be a time where I will be able to prove to you what I'm saying and why I said it. I'll be able to prove it at that point, but right now, it's like babbling into the wind. It's like Babel. This is a Tower of Babel in most people's minds, but it's not to the ones that are building the Tower of Babel to God. They know exactly what I'm saying. And so if this connects, heaven comes down to earth. And it's not going to look that way at first because of how all the destruction. But the reason heaven comes down to earth is because it will prove the communication between myself and those that run the entire existence of creation from the beginning of time. Alien, reptilian, humanoids, whoever's in charge, wherever God is, it would prove that communication. And I'll be talking to FBI agents, and they're going to wonder how I knew. And, you know, maybe everybody's always looking to just guilty, you're guilty. Hating you without a cause. Not so much that they had like hatred in their heart towards you, like towards Jesus. They didn't act. Some of them didn't actually hate him just because they hated him without a cause. They couldn't pin him towards anything, and he was using their own language against them, so therefore they hated him. Although they loved him. They loved him dearly, but they hated that they couldn't trap him. And then they fell in love with him, but they hate him at the same time. It's like a love-hate relationship. And then eventually, at the cross, when he rises from the dead, they truly love him because they know they're the ones that crucified him. They're the ones that pierced him. They're the ones that spit on him. They're the ones that slapped him. They're the ones that did this, that, and the other thing. And then they see he starts to rise up in front of their eyes. And then I wonder if that's a dinosaur. Meant to be a dinosaur face. But he rose up in front of them. Therefore, that's why Paul, who was Christ Jesus, basically is how I see it, was blinded by that same light. And then for 3 times, whether it's a day or 3 years, 3 days, he was blind. Finally, the scales were lifted up, and there's no denying of anything. It's just, this is the way the Bible is written. It's coming true. But it has to have an event that connects everything all together. Without this event, modern day event, how's anything going to change? And then, just to top it off, on September 3rd, 9/3/2022, at 6 p.m. or 3:16 p.m., which is in the Bible, John 3:16, my only begotten Son. When everything when I go down there, for what reason, what it reminds me of, I'm always reminded of what Jonathan Klecks did with the wooders that stood still. So I go down there again. Look at how the wooders is as high as it can be. Today's September 4th, 2022. This was yesterday, September 3rd. So, at 3:16, this is what happened.
Remember. It's 3:15. September 3rd, 3:15.
3:16.
Shh, be still. Thank you.
So it stood still. I was just joking around because, I knew it was going to drop. I already knew the water was going to stop.
Thank you. Shh, be still. Shh, be still. Thank you.
Still running at the moment. It can hang out for a while.
Be still. Thank you. Now, does anybody else notice this?
So it's 3:16 at the exact moment. 3:16 p.m.
All right, you can come back. Yeah.
I gave the water permission to rise back up again.
Yeah.
There's no movement. All right.
You can come back. Yeah.
I'm just good at timing AI. That's all that is.
You know who's seen that?
Buddy?
Nobody. Just me. Just me and my recorder. Oh my goodness. That's something else, huh?
It is.
That is something else.
Especially the timing of it this time. You can see it's 3:17. So in between the timing of the minute, for the love of God, I don't know why I didn't record it at 3:16. It just would have had a better wow factor. You see 3:16 on my phone, and you see the water completely still, like it was 8:48 on Harold Camping's World, back when Jonathan Klecks was just giving you a little teaser, and he had something to show me. So it hasn't stopped even as of yesterday. This is a continuance of me heading down to an area that has Jonathan Klecks' fingerprints attached all over it. Every time.
There it is. That happened at 3:16. That would have shut off at 3:16. Just look at the timestamp.
Yep. Look at the timestamp. 11:47. Somewhere around 10:40. 10:40. That would be 3:16. Even at 9 and 10:10, it was 3:15. 11:34, it was 3:17. So 10:34, 10:30-ish, 35, 8, 40, 10:38-ish. It was at, just so you know, it was at a dead exact John 3:16, and the water stood still. September 3rd, 2022.
KingJamesBibleOnline.org, and lo, a voice out of the heavens, saying, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." American Standard Version, and a voice came out of heaven, saying, "This is my dearly loved Son, with whom I am well pleased."
In this one, it's Matthew 3:17, and a voice from heaven said that. And I didn't catch it until 3:17 when I said,
There it is. That happened at 3:16. That would have shut off at 3:16. Just look at the timestamp when the would have shut completely down. And then, all right, you can come back up.
I want people to understand, first and foremost, what I'm proving just to myself alone is that Satan's stronghold, he no longer has that over me. So when I'm toying with the video, I'm toying with Satan, because when you can connect something and prove it, like I'm doing right now in front of you with this video, just proving the continual something. What is it? I don't know. It's a continual something. Do you know what it is? If anybody knows what that is before I do, then they'll continually stick with me. Something is continually happening to the point where eventually the shit has to hit the fan, and I have to meet them there at the event that they predicted that they were going to do, that was going to happen 21 years beforehand. I mean, in order to get that doubt thought out of your mind too, and then you're no longer in prison having to think that certain way just because of who you've either your preconceived ideas or who you work for. You'll be free. My whole purpose is to try to set people free out of their own prisons in their own minds while we live on the earth continually. We're not going anywhere. Nobody's getting raptured and leaving anywhere. And we're gonna live here. We're gonna die here. But do you want to be free out of your prison mind, as you're going to be stuck in your prison suit first, and then you die, and then you're finally free of your prison suit, and then you're in heaven, which is still connected to the actual earth itself, because heaven's above us. And with technology, AI mixed, and the year of the Lord's favor, this time around, the people, when they die, I believe there's a strong likelihood that you can take the technology and remove the person out of the dead body before time elapses to the point where the memory chip or box or whatever is in your brain won't work anymore. Maybe there's a 40-day period, maybe it's only 3 days until you get revived. But I believe it's true. I believe it can happen. I believe it's what they do. I believe people on YouTube have already died, and they have YouTube channels, and they are fallen angels from heaven, and they're letting us know, look, you're going to die as a human being. But when your body dies, what are you going to do from that point on? Nothing. So if you see somebody like, who are you? After you're like revived, and that person says, I'm the Lord God, son. Been trying to tell you on YouTube, remember? All right, fine, you got me. I mean, I'm alive now because you decided to bring me up, right? So you could have decided to leave me down or just disappear and not exist at all, ever, right? So if that happens and I see someone that says, I'm the Lord God, and then it's like a literal YouTube channel trying to tell me the entire time, I can accept whatever. I can accept the truth if it's proven. I can accept that. I can see it more realistic where somebody represents the Lord God in the actual heaven plane of existence above us, We're in the Vesica Pisces. We're in the birthing system, planet Earth, the garden, in the midst of the garden. And hell is below us and another surface below us. And possibly from Mount Rushmore, you can go in the tunnel and go down to hell or even up to heaven because the Earth is like tilted to going underneath and going parallel 30 seconds to Mars, because that's where Elon Musk is. 4, 3, 2, 1. Jonathan Klecks, before the fire, blast off. I know, Mom. I'm sorry. It's not going to make sense now, but it will make sense in the future because all these things are going to happen in that order. But in the meantime, nothing actually really happened. All I can show you is like weird little things that happens to me. If you have the attention span to stick with me and watch my video all the way through, you'll understand that there's a communication between me and the whatever runs this entire planet system. When I walk by at very specific times, the water does something unusual because I'm heading there for a specific reason. To look for a bomb that's going to kickstart World War III and the second 9/11, considered in Philadelphia. Will that ever happen? Well, here's the question that Jonathan Klecks has.
Strings, and everybody in their little host body system is walking around with one eye up, one eye down, and you're side of the building. I mean, ready? Real. 1, 2, 3. There it is.
Now that's also teeth chomping down here on something. But will this happen? Yes or no? It's right on the money. Let's say the 9/11 happened, just like I said it did in Philly, when the second 9/11, 21 years later. And you're watching this video now, and I'm rewatching it after I got bailed out, after my boss put up one of his houses. So, because I'm not a terrorist, I'm just predicting the future. And then we're rewatching this video here, and I'm saying, well, is it going to happen, Klecks? You know, Klecks? Who's Klecks? Mr. T's, who's Klecks? Who's this Jonathan Klecks? It's a channel on YouTube. You'll never find the actual person. You know, you'll never actually find the person you're looking for. I can't prove it's even somebody living on planet Earth. I can't even prove it's a human. But I can tell you where the bombing happened at. And I can tell you who showed me. But you'll never find them. So there's no point in trying to say who it is.
1, 2, 3. Do you understand? You just saw a three frame video of the Alfred P. Moore building blowing up. Printed.
Remember, Alpha P. Moore, America, made in America. It's so coincidental that in Philadelphia, that there's a Made in America event going on 10 days before the second 9/11 date in Philly. Look at that. Made in America. September 1st, 2022. Right in Philadelphia. Right before the second 9/11 date. I believe they're here, but just the way I think, it does look like the stage is actually set.
Pentagon, which is 2.
The William Penn building being gone is tied into the serpent's language, the Pentagon. When something happened before, it's a dual fulfillment in the future. Whatever Klecks shows you, the printings on the bombings on the buildings, they're going to resemble 4 buildings, 2 separate days of bombings, past and future.
And then you got Tower 2, which is 3. And then you got 4
events all together.
And the Ethiopians are at your door steps.
Because the steps, the art museum is up, and that's where the stage is set.
You gotta be kidding me on this one. Look at this one. Talk about a sign for the things to come. I'll have to get closer, but if you can see.
Can't see it, but on September 1st, the stage is set in Philly, made in America. When I got closer to it, after I'm doing a drive-by, the Ethiopians being set. I'm blown away by how they can just set things up, and it's crazy, just that fast.
There's so many people involved in this. It's
But when I'm referencing Mount Rushmore,
I ain't never seen anything like it.
Alpha
I'm
P
pretty
Moore
fascinated by it.
Federal Reserve money, or P Moore for a reason, but P Moore like Rushmore.
So a bunch of rock stars are coming down here.
And the president.
That's funny that they're doing it right before the second 9/11 date that I've been predicting that would happen in Philly for so many years now. And then all of a sudden I tie in Mount Rushmore, and here goes the president's quarters.
Because George Washington is the head. He's the quarter, the head of the four on Mount Rushmore. But with the new quarter, God has his back. When his head is turned, God is has his back like that. Back to this little experience here. It's a
You know who's seen that?
316.
Nobody.
It's a 316 connection because that was the time of it as it took place, when that shut down. And for the third time, it shut down when I just walked by the water itself. Is it 317? Fully risen back up again.
There it is. That happened at 3:16. That would have shut off at 3:16. Just look at the timestamp. When today is Monday. Happy birthday, Jonathan Klecks.
16.
Are you gonna ring that bell or what?
Are you gonna ring that bell?
9:26 a.m.
Day before the stock market, the bell of the stock market rings. Hey, Jonathan Klecks, are you gonna ring that bell or what?
The sun's out. It's a nice, bright, sunshiny day, and I'm gonna guess on the stock market today, and I'm gonna say that it's gonna go down.
I think a lot of people will be surprised that the market dropped so sharply.
Look out for the older people in our home. Older might be a state of mind, not necessarily an age. So for those,
You know, like 3,000. It needs to really tumble. It needs to really tumble.
there might be a state of mind, not necessarily an age. So for those millennials of us who have parents who
If you watch what happened as the president was speaking.
On 316, Jonathan Klecks' birthday, asking Jonathan Klecks if he's going to ring that bell. Just constantly, what I'm proving is I'm constantly talking about Jonathan Klecks with the things that I'm showing you, which means he has something to do with what you're seeing that is connected between two different realms. The opening bell, 3,000 points. It needs to really
And when he said that the outbreak could last until July or August, that's when the Dow kind of nosedived.
To CNN's Allison Kosik at the New York Stock Exchange. And Allison, the largest point loss ever today, is that right?
Yes. So the worst point loss in history was on Jonathan Klecks' birthday, and that's on record. The Kleck channel, 316, on the same day that I predicted that the stock market would go down and tumble exactly the way it did. It really, literally did that. It happened. It's true. The bell was rung. Is Jonathan Klecks a bell ringer? Well, he's ringing the bell on things, and I'm trying to help. He has things he needs to put together, and I know that when I put other things together, it makes it easier for him to collect all the other information because there's so much of it, and I can't even keep track of myself. The amount of things that are in my head towards the amount of things that I only shown on YouTube is like 1/10 of what I would be able to show and prove, but I can't record everything and pause it and then wait for whatever else to come about so it can clarify to you that the voice of reason that's inside of my head, shows me all of these things that has a connection. Like there's a connection that you're able to grab onto pulling forward. Like I'm trying to get out of the hellhole. So I see a connection, I grab it. I'm lifting myself up the ladder every time because I don't feel like I'm going down the ladder. I feel like I'm trying to climb up. Every time I get a connection, I hold on to it. I pull that one closer. I know that eventually in the end, all this stuff finally gets it finally happens. The ones in charge, you know what I'm talking about. It finally happens. The whole thing is finally over. The world continues on, but that whole thing is over. And everything is shown and proven. And all the doubt and everybody that has watched and everybody that's like, whether you're a false prophet or just whatever you're speaking doesn't make any sense. And yeah, you predicted that before. Like my wife said, you've been saying this for like 4 years now. I know, I'm ahead of time. I'm supposed to. At least 42 months, right? I'm supposed to see things before they happen. That way I can give you the heads up. And it's designed that way. Because the ones doing it designed it that way. And they have me perfectly pinned knowing what I'm going to do next because of their lead. Because I know this is all for the glory of God, no matter who's trying to. Just like that. Myself, I must have accidentally did that one, or AI. That's messed up. I had a dislike on there. It's like the angry AI. Point is, God knows that one day, coming sooner than later, because I've already been at it for over 5 years now, even if it's a 7-year period altogether, my YouTube career just looks like a waste of life towards everybody, and then come to find out that I saved your life for doing this for free on YouTube for 7 years. Meaning no handler, nobody telling me what to do, nobody give me a script. If I decide to monetize my channel or a video, I decide to do it. I earned it. I created this. The devil tries to talk trash in your ear about everything. And you just gotta, like once and for all. And anybody around you that has you gotta clear your space. So I'm hoping that what I predicted even back then is going to be as dead on. Because here's what I'm showing you right now. God gave me this information on March 16, 2020. In my head, I thought, John 3:16. It's Jonathan Klecks' birthday. He said hello to me. He called me a nerd last month, finally, for the first time. He put my name in his mouth. So, I don't know. I just feel like today's the day. It's his birthday. The stock market's tumbling down. It's heading in a direction. I just feel like 3 is the number. Angel of the bottomless pit. Let me go with 3,000 points today. Because Jonathan Klecks is teaching me about the angel of the bottomless pit and Abaddon, number 3, and 17th JFK is at Route 3, and so is Market Street. Go the other direction. And let me just predict this, and that's exactly what happened, just as I predicted. 100% dead on truth. There's nothing anybody can do to deny the fact that, yes, I did predict that. It was only one day. I don't go around predicting the stock market. I can't even tell you what's going on today. I don't even know the numbers. Whatever I do is day to day because I'm being led by the Spirit. The Spirit is leading me in this direction. I go over there. I prove to whatever's trying to show me that I'm listening to you, I understand you, and I can communicate back to you, and I'll prove it to you with events that I can actually literally record with my camera, like water stopping and shutting off at 8:48 a.m. and on 316 with just, this is what just happened yesterday. The water shut down, and I didn't even purposely go down there at 316. I didn't know what time it was. That's why I have my second phone. I even said, hold on, let me turn the phone on. Let me see what time it is. I wish I would have recorded at 316 with the water stood still. It would have been a better visual. But you get the point. It happened at 316. The water shut down. It's Jonathan Klecks' birthday. Everything is, I've always tied him in to everything I'm doing for these past 3 years, because no matter who he is or isn't or perceived as, he has put in the most work in the world, in existence, in trying to communicate with me back and forth, where to the point I look forward to every one of his videos. Sometimes I feel like even 2 or 3 days is too long also, but I also understand I'm giving him so much information that he can't handle it. And it's things like this that he already knows. And Corey, you know, Zach, you hear it, you see it. It's all unexplainable to that non-seeing eye. You can't, but you can hear. So this is the only way, right here, in my life. Whatever it is, whatever it means, until it isn't there anymore. I know that God the Father needs me to continue on pushing record, not even worrying or caring about what I'm going to say. It doesn't even matter. I can just go to the computer, look at my last timestamps, push record, and start. Whatever comes out, comes out. Wherever I get led to. This whole video is about tying in all the events all the unusual. It's not just a coincidence. You can't actually just say, well, that's just a coincidence, Robin, because the water sprouted up out of nowhere on the day that you went down there, July 8th, when Jonathan Klecks was skydiving too in a dry desert ground, and a flash flood happened to just go on one side of the river out of nowhere. For the first time all year, water sprouted up at 8:46 a.m. The same time George Floyd had his head kneeled upon for 8 minutes 46 seconds, and the same time that the first tower was hit at 8:46 a.m. on the first 9/11 in New York 21 years ago. And then you went down there 3 months later, and then the water rose up out of nowhere at 8:48 a.m. on the same day Barack Obama came to Philly, the same day Jonathan Klecks had something to show you, Robin, to go down to Harold Camping's World, and you went there because you perceived Harold Camping's World. Your perception was, oh, 17th and JFK. Jonathan Klecks knew I would think that and go down there at that time. So Jonathan Klecks knew that when I was there at that time, that he was going to do this at that exact same time.
Just go to Gennady.
What are the odds? Who's Jonathan Klecks? I'm not particularly sure all the way. I mean, it makes a good case for the Lucifer in the world with the host body system, teaching me all about what's in the stomach. And that's a whole another 10 more hours of a rant that I can go on, of memory. It's just data. This is all data in my head. It's just whatever comes to my mind is there. And I keep recording it, pushing record and recording more. And it doesn't matter if you lose sleep over it or not, or who's even watching or not. I have to keep saying it because I have the platform to do it. And I have evidence to show things that take place that are so unusual that it at least makes you stop and think, well, something, I mean, at least you're not just blabbing on into the thin air, Robin. You did show us something that is unusual, right?
I want to show you something.
It's only unusual because Barack Obama read Be Still Know That I'm God at 8:48 a.m. also. And it's even more unusual because on October 21st, 2020, Barack Obama actually showed up at the link and said all those things about his job at Baskin Robbins and his appointees and what our last name is. It's all coincidence. Coincidence, coincidence. Then I walked by it again a few months ago. The water stopped again. And maybe it's just on a timer to stop every 2 minutes, I'm sure, right? But this time is the icing on the cake, and it is the actual, here it comes full circle. Jonathan Klecks, everything I show you basically has his name in it because I'm being led by that spirit that's with him in order to prove communication between two different worlds, basically, like two different universes. And then eventually my silent, unseen universe that is more in like La La Land in people's minds, like fantasy world, that finally just in one day it just comes into play, and it hits everybody and it's revealed just like that. And then I can get more people's attention and turn you to God, because all I'm telling you is God, the Most High, is a spirit in heaven that rules all of us. For some reason, He gave me this desire to keep speaking about things because I know now people are listening more than ever, and they run the whole world. And because you guys are willing to allow me to record something like this,
Just go to
at that time, to deliver a specific message at 8:48 a.m. when Barack Obama read Psalms 46. Because somebody's trying to tell me something. Who's trying to tell me that they're like the Lord God in heaven? And when my body dies, they're going to remind me of, hey, Robin. Hey. Or like, hey, Robin. You awake now? Yeah. We just took you out of your dead flesh. We could have just let you rot, like all the others. After 3 full days, if we don't take you out, you're gonna just fade away, and that's it. Rest in peace, buddy. But we want you to rest in peace. We don't not die and rest in peace like everybody else. We want you, Robin, to rest in peace. So you're gonna come with me. I am the Lord God, and I just revived you. So without me, you would be dead. So when I see that image, I'll be like, oh, thanks, Father. You're looking out, because I do want to live forever. And thanks for this perfect body, man. This is awesome. I'm not even hungry anymore, and I will never be tired, and I don't need to thirst ever again. How great is that? Well, it's only fantasy world, Robin. It doesn't really exist. Really? There's people on YouTube that I highly admire, and I can't prove they even exist or even are human. But they've told me that there's something more than just this realm here when your physical body dies. Because when your body dies and you're dead laying on that table, and those surgeons are looking above you, and you still hear them, I think, but you're still alive regardless. And I would just assume you still hear them because you still hear through. Now, they can either put you into cremation and you don't exist anymore and you're done. That's it. That's burning in hell forever and ever. You're not tortured. You don't exist anymore. Because of the technology, today, they're able to pop you out of your flesh wherever they can finally stop to pull your memory and everything out is where they would have the ability to just surgically remove it like a split second and sew things together. And then you're going to go up to heaven and you're going to look down here on earth, and it's going to be the same earth that I'm standing on right now talking to you through this YouTube channel, that sometime in the future you could actually watch as you died. You went to heaven, you went up there, you went through the process that I foreseen that makes more sense to be more realistic as to what happens when you really do die. Nobody really knows what happens when you really die. But because of the technology, it's simple to understand. And what they put in our DNA from birth in order to have us grow into something that they can detach now. You can't detach something until it grows and then pop it onto something else after that withers, and then you attach it to something that's forever, which would be AI mixed with human. And how do we know that's not God's intentions in order to keep you to living forever, for real, for real? So we'll never know until you're dead, but you'll remember me if it happens. Will guarantee you that one, because I'm even going to remember it myself, because I don't know when my body finally fails out, my flesh, whatever day that is. When I'm done, I'm in my new body, and I'm going to be up there where right at this exact moment, it's there. So as I'm down here, I am saying heaven is literally above us, and it's a literal place, but you have to die from this flesh. You can't. You may be able to visit. If you do, if it's like a 40-day visit, we don't have any food for you, so I don't know what you're going to eat. So you might want to fast on that one. But if you do see heaven, and you see what it's going to be like when you get there, when you actually die, then you'll know while you're on earth, truly the loved ones that they're decent people. God understands we live on earth. This is a middle portion of the waiting room till we go up or down. You can rest assured that they're literally there. And then when you go up there, when you leave this earth is going to be the same exact as it was when you're up there in heaven in your new body that was surgically transported. And then you're alive. And then you look down like that. You look down at earth where you just died from like 3 days ago. That's how literal I think it is. That's how real it is, in my opinion, when you die. Because I've always thought too, like, it kind of sucks. Like, you're going to die, but I mean, you're not going to be like really human. You're going to feel like you're just going to drift off in this dreamland. I guess that's cool too. I mean, you're rested ashore one way or another, but you're at rest only in spirit, and you're not really in a physical body anymore. I kind of want to be in a physical body, but I want to be in a perfect body that I don't have to work out to just be strong and feel good and look good. It just naturally happens. And I don't feel like eating anything, but I'm always hungry. So you mean we don't need to eat food anymore? All right, well, good, because I'm tired of eating anyway. What's the point of it? And how great would that be? So it's all literal. It's all going to happen when you die, and you'll remember what I told you when it happens.
You know, slandering you and all
Back in
kinds of stuff on
2019.
17th Street. And because you are John F. Kennedy, Kleckedy,
I'm even tying him into it 3 years ago at 17th JFK for some reason. Before the water even stood still. This is before September 28th. It's something about that exact spot that I was at, right there, that I kept going down there for. And eventually I went down there on October 21st, 2020. But remember the year, remember this exact day right here?
yesterday.
For the day before of that date that I just showed you, Harold Camping's World.
So this was yesterday. Today's the 21st of October, 2019. Now,
The day after, the 21st. Notice the title, Home Depot employees sent home minutes before tornado. Maybe they watched that video. I don't know. I mean, it could have been, maybe I helped them leave.
is Dallas news
5:29
everywhere.
in the morning.
This Home Depot.
Early in the morning.
We've already seen some homes and businesses just ripped apart, evidence of the destruction left behind on some of the North Texas roads as well.
Let's take a look at damage on I-30. Damage to some Garland neighborhoods as well. This is near Shiloh Road, north of LBJ Freeway. There are trees down, many homes with roof damage. Garland police say they have no reports of any serious injuries, however. And a tornado.
So a tornado hit Shiloh and Robin. That's my name. My name's Robin.
Clearly, I don't think we need to say may have. A tornado hit northeast Dallas last night.
On October 21st, 2019. At the Home Depot when I pointed to it. Now, did I know that it was really going to be destruction the next day? Who would have told me that? How would I know that? It was a tornado. So how would I know that the very next day a tornado, not that I said a tornado was going to hit, but Home Depot, that means Home Depot is coming up next. So the very next day, there's a lot of times that the day before I get a feeling of what's going to take place tomorrow because I look at the weather. Just like December 24th, 2020, which was in another month, 2 months, and a year. Jonathan Klecks said he was working on a present. So again, Jonathan Klecks' name is going to be in the title. Jonathan Klecks. Look, it's Tornado Klecks tearing through Dallas, Texas. I'm telling you, somebody is controlling the weather. But if you want to believe that it's God, then I'm telling you, God's going to destroy Home Depot tomorrow. Look, I'm pointing at my freaking head. It doesn't get any more clear and obvious. Look.
So this was.
What am I? An agent? Am I FBI? Am I CIA? Am I NSA? Am I disinfo agent? Or am I just as real as it gets? And this is all natural. And look, here's evidence.
It was yesterday. Today's the 21st of October, 2019.
Timestamps are the greatest things that you can have. But it just proves the ability to see things beforehand before they take place. Home Depot. And then the next day. As I'm predicting tomorrow, I get a shout out on the news of the place that was destroyed near Shiloh at Robin Lane in the Garland area. Where
Garland neighborhoods as well. This is near Shiloh Road, north of LBJ Freeway. There are trees down, many homes with roof damage. Garland police say they have no reports of any serious injuries, however. And a tornado, pretty clearly, I don't think we need to say may have. A tornado hit northeast Dallas last night.
Yeah, we've seen the video,
95% certain,
yeah. Brandon Todd is live in the Lake Highlands neighborhood where a Home Depot store was badly damaged. Brandon?
Yeah, good morning, guys. The damage here in this area is evident before you ever get to this Home Depot. You can see this entire section here around Forest and Central is dark. Everywhere I look, it's dark. Power is off to everything here.
And then knowing Jonathan Klecks teaching about the dead sheep and with the tongue sticking out, and look at this creature with his hair and his eye and his kind of like a clown nose, and his tongue is literally touching the ground. And it's supposed to be a tornado from God. All right, well, whatever. I'm telling you, Tornado Klecks came through there at Home Depot literally the day before he did it. So these are facts.
Lots of businesses sustained a lot of damage, but of course behind me you can see one of the most evident ones here, the Home Depot. I'll step out of the way so you can kind of get a look at this, but the
Home Depot.
center part of this entire building is destroyed. You've got just twisted metal.
So let me hold on, Mr. T. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Sorry, Mr.
Hey,
T.
what?
Okay,
Oh.
so you need to, you need to get disability.
Yeah, I'm tired of work. Completely. Insanity.
Your problem that you're having.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right. All right, no problem. We'll get you right on it.
Yes.
We will just declare
Can you mail it?
Clinically insane. All right.
All right,
You'll
cool.
be clinically insane. And
Yeah, so I went for my mark back then on July 2nd, 2019. So I already have the mark of the beast interview. I have it in my forehead, so I'm good. I'm good to go with that. And it's all business, just like Klecks, as I just started to really take an interest to who Jonathan Klecks really is. Fast forward next year, again, whose name is in the title? It ain't mine. It's Jonathan Klecks' name. It's Harold Camping's name. It's 848. It's Harold Camping's World. And the water stays still at 848. And even 2 minutes beforehand, I'm proving to you that Jonathan Klecks needed to show me something.
Here we go. The short video clip was made today, October 20th, 2020, after the Lord told me to drive to Camping World this morning because he had something to show
Harold
me.
Camping.
This
And he showed me that. And then on top of all that, he was just letting you know, in case if you didn't know, that the Spirit was directing me there in order to prove communication. He wanted to let you know this.
I'm just getting started. I'm just giving you a little teaser right now.
So the teaser is like a tease, like a Robin tease, because that's my name, Robin Tease. And on the same exact day that Barack Obama was there in Philly, he had also mentioned like the name Tease.
I want to thank Mr. Philadelphia what our last name is.
Isn't that strange that I got Barack Obama to say my first name? He also mentioned Batman and Robin, a bad duo. So he said Robin. Then he said his first job was at a Baskin Robbins. That way he can reference the name Robbins. Then he's talking about being in the neighborhood every single day because I make videos every single day. And then when I'm doing all that, like all this, I'm distracting all of you from the real destructive behavior of all the people that I'm appointing as my appointees are doing all across America that affects, all the things that you've been trying to cover up. All at the Lincoln Financial Field. All those clips I used as an editor because Jonathan Klecks said he was looking for
work involved in doing a DVD, but I think it all needs to be memorialized in about a 4-hour DVD. I really do. And that's just going to require extreme prayer on my part, because it would require some really good editor that wants to jump on board with me. And
Back on September 22nd, 2019. Today is September 4th, 2022. So 3 years ago, Jonathan Klecks was looking for a really good editor. I can't find the clip. I wish I could. Where Stephen James DeShawn said, "Hey, Robin." I said, "Yeah." He said, you're a good editor. You're a really great editor. You should have been in the movies. You missed your calling." And then I'm like, "Hey, Derek Rose, you're a movie producer, right?" In that video, but I don't know where it's at. Before that,
why Robin is getting stalked. Okay? Just remember,
SJD rebuking Robin is like Satan rebuking Christ. Even
going to show you why Robin is getting stalked. Okay?
not if or, Robin thinks. He's saying, I'm going to tell you why he is. Right? This was 3 years ago. Hey, Click.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
You're a good editor. That's what I
Right, Steve.
have to say. You're a great editor.
Hey, maybe you can get me a job.
You should have been. I think you missed your calling. Should have been in the movies as an editor.
Hey, there.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
You're a good editor. That's what I.
and do a DVD.
Years ago.
I've done DVDs and there's so much work. There's so much work involved in doing a DVD, but I think it all needs to be memorialized in about a 4-hour DVD. I really do. And that's just going to require extreme prayer on my part, because it would require some really good editor.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
You're a good editor. That's what I
Right, Steve.
have to say. You're a great editor.
Hey. Who is Stephen James DeShawn? Well, it's a good thing Jonathan Klecks knows, because when I put this on my resume, what I'm telling you is the person that is known as Stephen James DeShawn, he is the top commander over many secret societies inside the United States. Many. DeShawn, the Vatican has made him their vicar of Lucifer. So Klecks, Representative Lucifer, for his willingness to be lawless and ruthless. Vicar of Lucifer. Oh, look at that, my enemy. Lucifer, Stephen James DeShawn, back in August 2nd, 2019. So that qualifies for at least 3 years ago. 4 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago. 3 years ago. And if you just click on that, you'll even find me.
Or I'm not able to upload any videos on it.
Robin's Hood.
So go ahead and sub up and add me to your subscription list. Hate to say it, but I must have
Yeah, it's like a 4-year constant nerve.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I got an endorsement from the Vicar of Lucifer here in the United States. So there's only one person that's the Vicar of Lucifer out of over 300 something million people in America on record. And I have him saying that I'm a really good editor. So there you go, Jonathan Klecks. Looks like you found your editor to join you.
prayer on my part, because it would require some really good editor that wants to jump on board with me, and I just don't know who that would be right now. So.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
You're a good editor. That's what I
Thanks, Steve.
have to say. You're a great editor.
Hey, maybe you can get me a job.
Should have been. I think you missed your calling. Should have been in the movies.
Look at that. Look at the connection there. Global Witness, Derek Rose, Paramount, Viacom. At one point, I was on this channel talking to him about Enoch and Elijah and Enki and Enlil and you know, what'd you say, Derek?
That I showed after. So you saw those beforehand. I haven't gone over and checked out Robin's channel. Robin does some interesting work. He's followed me for a little while. He's had some things trying to figure me out, but I love him. He's a great guy. We got to talk.
Well, it's funny that I see those 3 videos that you put up. You can't even make this stuff up. Where
so when you saw it, so what you're saying, you can't make this stuff up, that you were looking.
I have the Jewish billionaire Daniel Gilbert of Detroit on, this website here says that Stephen James, that's his major financer, that guy there with all your private bank accounts. He also claims to be, the Jesus Christ, the root line of Judah and the root of David, and all that stuff, and he's even put my own video inside of the Top Commander Luciferian Gang Stalking America website, has attached me to him.
work around 7.
That would be my connection to being able to take that editor's job that I already have been fulfilling. It's almost over. It's not like I'm looking to get paid to do a job in the future of editing. I'm just looking to be compensated for the work that was already done, because God promised my works do follow me.
Part about
I gotta
me loving my dogs. I like the part about
back on. I just got an endorsement that I should be in the movies.
I think you missed your calling. Should have been in the movies.
There you go. So, hey, Kleck, on November 27th, 2018. And Steve, you're doing me one hell of a. Stephen James had already given me that endorsement as a great editor. And then come to find out.
Proverbs 5. My son.
Come to find out a little later on.
Require extreme prayer on my part.
A year later.
It would require some really good editor that wants to jump on board with me.
September 22nd, 2019. And when was that, Steve? Or yet? November, October 8th, 10. So 10 months later. 10 months later, you were talking about it. Steve already told you ahead of time. Steve prophesied, told you that I'm a great editor. And then fast forward to today, 9:44 p.m., 9/4/2022. I got an endorsement as being a great editor from a top Luciferian head United States gang stalker right here in America.
Require extreme prayer on my part, because it would require some really good editor that wants to jump on board with me, and I just don't know who that would be right now. I'm just getting started.